So again, we're going to have a subtraction here. So it's f minus g. So f minus g, we're going to go ahead and do that part first. So it's going to be x squared plus 1 minus x minus 4. Don't forget to distribute that negative. So it's going to be x squared plus 1 minus x plus 4. So again, our simplified answer is x squared minus x plus 5. But now we're going to plug in a negative 1. Every time we see the letter x, we're going to plug in a negative 1. So remember, that's an input. So again, it's going to be x squared minus x plus 5. Make sure you do your signs right, guys. Use substitution when you drop in those negative numbers. And remember to always use parentheses. So a negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. Again, a negative times a negative, that's going to be positive also. Don't forget to bring down the plus 5. So when you evaluate this, you get a simplified answer of 7. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at B. So B is a compound composition, guys. You got to multiply and distribute a 5. Then you got to go back and figure out what f of 4 is and add it to that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply f times g. And remember, this is going to be x squared plus 1 times x minus 4. So we're just going to FOIL again, guys. So check your foiling, double check your signs. All right, so remember, we are going to substitute a 5 in. This is our first part. And also remember, everywhere you see the letter x, you are going to drop in a 5. 5 is going to be cubed to leave that off. So remember, 5 times 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. For your next term, guys, don't forget you got to do your exponent first. So we're actually going to do 25 times a negative 4. So 25 times a negative 4, of course, is going to be a negative 100. I'm just going to bring down the rest of my problem as I work left to right. So I've done all of my multiplication, guys. Now you just add and subtract in the order that they occur. So 125 minus 100, of course, is 25. Plus 5 minus 4. And of course, that is just going to give you an answer of 26. All right, so remember, this was part 1. And remember, our last part is just to find f of 4 and add them together, guys. So remember, f of x was x squared plus 1. So this is going to be 4 squared plus 1, which of course is going to give us a simplified answer of 17. Remember, that's part 2. And 26 plus 17, 36 plus 13 is going to be 36 plus 13, 30, 43. Yeah, that's it. Any questions on part B? Okay. So when we add them up, remember f was just x squared plus 1. And then remember g of x was x minus 4. So just combine your like terms, guys. So we're going to have x squared plus x minus 3. And remember, this time we're plugging in a binomial. So we're going to have to square the binomial. So this is going to get dropped in everywhere we see the letter x. So remember, it's x squared plus x, and guys, I'm just going to use parentheses to show my substitution, and then minus 3. And again, guys, your order of operations, you got to do the exponent first. And it's not just distributing that 2 in those parentheses. You got to FOIL that out. First, outer, inner, last. So remember the shortcut, you FOIL or you square the first term. And then you multiply these 2 together and then double it. A negative 2 times t is negative 2t. And when you double that, that is a negative 4t. Your last term is going to be the last term squared. Negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4. And guys, remember, I did show substitution with those parentheses, but that plus sign in front has no effect on that. So that is just going to be plus t minus 2. And don't forget the minus 3 at the end. And just make sure you combine your like terms. There's only one squared term, so t squared is going to be first. And then we have a couple of linear terms. A negative 4 and a positive 1 is going to be negative 3t. And then go ahead and add your constants. A positive 4, and y'all, this down here is a negative 5. So a positive 4 and that negative 5 at the end just leaves a negative 1. And that's going to be the simplified answer. No restriction on domain. It's just going to be a regular quadratic. You could plug in any number for that.